What's up, Billy? How you been?
Better than I look.
So you're having a baby. Congratulations on your baby's due when?
May 28th.
Wow.
And thank you.
You
I
excited?
appreciate that. Yeah, I'm excited. 31 years old, gonna have my first kid. Well, I'm not 31 yet. Let's just clarify that. But by the time I have my first kid, I'll be 31.
That's your first baby, right?
First baby.
It's a boy?
It's a boy, Billy Aziel. That's gonna be his name.
Billy Aziel?
Billy Aziel. I would have probably had one a long time ago if I wasn't on the loquera for all of my 20s. But it happened at the perfect time.
You're having a baby shower April 6th?
April 6th, yeah. And Lost in Phoenix is invited. I hope we made enough food.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, if anybody has any diapers, Pampers for Billy and his baby, they can send it to my UPS box, right? That's awesome, man. I'm excited for you. Like, how do you think having a baby is gonna change you, or what type of difference will it make?
It's definitely gonna challenge me. It's gonna challenge me more as a man because I'm no longer thinking for myself. I also have another child, another human being that I also have to consider. But I'm not nervous, and I don't think it's gonna be hard. I feel like I went through the hardest that I could probably possibly go through. Obviously, there's more challenges that I face, but nothing compared to being stuck on fentanyl and waking up every morning with withdrawals, not knowing how I'm gonna get my next fix. And yeah, I think it's gonna be easy, to be honest, but it's easier said than done. We'll see when I'm waking up in the middle of the night and running off 3 hours of sleep at work.
How important was it to you having a father in your life?
I never really had my dad, honestly, but there was people that were like that I looked up as father figures, like my uncle. I remember, my dad growing up. He was always in prison my whole life. He did like 5-7 years. I can't remember the exact number in a state penitentiary. Then he did another 8 in federal penitentiary, and I remember glorifying that and looking up to him. Like, I would always post on MySpace or Instagram, free my dad, and I kind of wanted to be like him. I'm not gonna lie. Growing up, I wanted to be a gangster like him, and now that I'm older, I realize being in prison and away from your family and away from your kids ain't nothing gangster about that. So I'm gonna give my son something to look up to, something to take pride in. That's why I'm keeping myself busy. I work on myself spiritually, mentally, physically. I'm constantly, if I'm not at work, I'm training. If I'm not training, spending time with the mother of my child, and I also give her a lot of credit too because she is very supportive of me. She understands the things that I have to do as a man, so I could be a good role model to her and the baby.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, it's a great message, and you have your head on straight now today as compared to 3-4 years ago when you're
if I had a kid 4 years ago, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, they would have been calling my mama.
Yeah, because you weren't in any condition to have a child, right?
No, and I made sure I didn't have no kids back then when I was on the streets. I didn't really have my only focus when I was on the streets was to get high and to support a drug habit. So there was really no time for a relationship.
What type of life lessons do you think you're going to teach your child that you wish you would have been told at a young age?
I'll probably teach him integrity, resilience, delayed gratification. What else would I teach him? And that happiness is the choice. And to be honest, there's a list of things I could write there. There's a whole book of things that I'm going to teach him. I'm just going to learn as I go. But those are definitely the main ones. Hard work, most definitely.
Absolutely. When
confidence.
Yeah.
Like I said, the list goes on.
It's a lot, right? Especially a boy.
Respect.
Yeah, respect. A boy needs to learn a lot at a young age.
Self-defense, right? That's for
sure. Barber skills, right?
Yeah, barber skills or just creativity. Whatever you put your hands on, be the best at it. Whether if it's a barber, electrician.
So all these things that you're talking about that you're gonna teach your child, are those things you've learned since you've been sober, or are there things that you knew all along?
I just feel like God blessed me in so many ways that I didn't even think what I was doing, growing up as a kid, I didn't think that it would benefit me in the long run. So when I was younger, my dad would send me drawings from prison, and then I would copy the drawings, trace the drawings, and I feel like when I was doing that kind of stuff, I was channeling my creativity. My mom put me in football when I was a kid, and that helped with like self-confidence. I would remember being at practice and I would see the other kids' dads come with their record cameras and they're recording their kids, and me thinking like, oh, my dad's locked up right now, but I'm gonna crack the shit out of this kid on camera just to show him. It just kind of motivated me, and certain things that God orchestrated into my life made me the man I am today. It was all this stuff that I talk about. I should have been talked about this a long time ago, but it was the drugs and using fentanyl. It would kind of put everything to a stop. But I don't know. What was the question again? Like, how did I learn all this stuff?
Do you think you learned this stuff now being sober?
Oh, now being sober? No, like I said, and so with the cutting hair, my mom, with the cutting hair, I remember my mom, she couldn't give me haircuts for a long time, for like a couple weeks or a month, and that's when I started to pick up the clippers and cut my own hair. And I remember my uncle, the one I told you about being a father figure to me in my life. He told me one time, he's like, hey, well, you should go to barber college, when I was working for his door company. And then just because that he suggested it, because he was like a father to me and I respected him as a man, I took his suggestion. And all these things wasn't really from me being sober. I think all those things were already there, and God had planned it out for me. But it wasn't until I got sober then when I realized, I've been blessed, and to run with everything that He had blessed me with, and to focus more on His will for me instead of the devil's will, I guess you could say.
Do you think not having your dad as a kid because he was locked up, do you think that traumatized you a little bit?
No, not really. I mean, at the time, I don't think it really affected me. I never went to sleep. I still got sleep at night. I never went to sleep thinking about it. But growing up, I probably lacked that discipline for sure. I thought I was unstoppable, honestly, because I kind of had to grow up quick, grow up on my own, and that kind of gave me like a sense of like entitlement, I guess you could say, and it kind of made me think that I was unstoppable, and that you could even relate. It relates to me getting on drugs. Like I thought when people got on drugs that they're weak-minded and that the only reason why they couldn't get off of it is because they were just weak. But me getting on drugs, I feel like, I don't know, it's really hard to explain. I got 1,000 things going through my mind right now, but pretty much I thought I was unstoppable.
So, Billy, congratulations on your baby coming soon. You got a baby shower coming up next week. If anybody wants to donate to the baby shower, they can send it to my UPS box, right? So thanks for talking, Billy. You're looking great. Stay healthy. Stay away from any bad stuff out there, and yeah, I can't wait to meet Billy Jr., right? Billy Azaziel.
Aziel.
Yeah,
it means God is my strength in Hebrew.
Awesome, great name. So nice talking to you. We'll talk soon, okay?
All right, thank you.